Okay, hi everybody in the online class. This is Dr. Tausman. I'm doing things today in a slightly different format. I've actually already met with the face-to-face class, and I gotta say I'm kind of concerned about things that it seems like a lot of people in the class have stopped turning in assignments in the last couple of modules, and you need to get those things done. If you can post those or email those, post those, and then send me an email. I'll just mark it down some points for being late, but it seems like only 3 or 4 out of the 13 of you are posting things, so try to get those things done as quickly as possible. I wanted to talk today about the final research proposal. I've actually posted it up here. You'll need the abstract that'll include what you would propose to do, what your probable statistical analysis and results will be. You'll get graded on that, the content and the style, the literature review, the inverted pyramid structure like I showed before the break, the writing style, key points in the summary, and then the proposal related to the literature, and share ideas on what will occur. Today in class we had a few different ideas shared that I think might be useful for you to think about because they're on the right ballpark. We had one student who was interested in epilepsy. So she's going to actually recruit people who have epilepsy and don't have epilepsy, and she's basically going to measure their memory at 2 different points in times, as well as do brain scans at 2 different points in time. So for her, the independent variable is the group, epilepsy or non-epilepsy, 2 dependent variables, and she's basically going to do paired t-tests, actually independent t-tests, seeing if there are bigger changes in memory and changes in the brain at these 2 points in time. And so you need to include something about that in the abstract, basically saying in the abstract that independent sample t-tests should indicate X, Y, or Z. So that's one student, and that's a cognitive neuroscience thing. Student number 2, and I have about 7 or 8 of these. Kind of a similar situation in a way. 2 groups of people who will be put in a low stress situation, watching people shoplifting, high stress, the gun situation, and the memory for the event. And so she'll measure the memory for the event with true-false questions and measure EEGs before for these 2 groups. And so she'll do basically have 2 dependent variables. She'll look at the EEG patterns and the memory and see if the high stress group shows weaker memories and maybe stronger EEG patterns through this. So she'll say something about this in the abstract. The next student is actually doing a intervention type of design. It's on erectile dysfunction, and she'll basically give people surveys to measure their thought processes before all this. She'll describe the CBT intervention, the cognitive behavioral intervention, and then do paired t-tests after to see if people are doing better. Another student is doing something a little more complicated. I'll try to keep it pretty simple here. It's with Alzheimer's disease. It's doing a intervention type of study where they're measuring memory before and after doing a brain stimulation that should improve memory. So this will be a pre-post t-test design, which you would say in the abstract and say we would predict that there should be more brain stimulation and better memory after this intervention within subject design is used. Another student is looking at PTSD before and after and looking at brain activity. It's an intervention study as well. If you're doing something like this, you can say that it's a within subject design and pre-post, and you expect people to have less symptoms and maybe better brain activity in the neuroscience way after. Another student is doing something on sexual orientation and measuring brain activity for people with different sexual orientation when they show them for heterosexuals or homosexuals images that are either congruent with their sexual orientation or incongruent. And the prediction is that when you show heterosexual males information that is incongruent, maybe a homosexual scene, that their brain activity might be really quite different when you show them this. So this is a 2x2 type of design. maybe a little complicated, but if you write up what you're doing, I can help you try to form this in a better way. Another person is looking at eating disorders and trying to do an intervention. She's going to look neurologically with one dependent variable at brain functioning there, and also look at eating disorder scale, the severity and the symptoms before and after. So a couple of DVs there, and that'll be, if you guys are doing this kind of pre-post test with within subject t-tests. And finally, we have the last student who's doing a cognitive behavioral therapy approach with people who have eating disorders. She's going to measure the anxiety with people that have eating disorders before and after, and see if there are changes before and after the cognitive behavioral therapy that she puts in place, and also see if there are changes in brain activity as well. So for you guys, if you want to send me emails, if you want to start posting on this and say, can you please look at what I've posted, I'd be happy to do that. And hopefully you can kind of catch up with some of this work and get it all done. So keep in touch and let me know what I can do to help. Feel free to post drafts and send me emails. I'll look at them. I'll give you critiques. If you want to have phone calls, we can do that as well. And only 3 or 4 of you did the draft component of things, so I hope you can finish up the semester well. This will be due on December 6th, I think I put as the date at the end of the day. So let me know if you have questions. Thanks. Bye-bye.